Today we have one such superhero, Miss Sudha Jayakumar, very much settled in Dubai. She is now an investment consultant in Allegiance Real Estate. Almost 2 decades after that now, and you're doing fantastic. How do you introduce yourself?
Real estate is part of what I am, part of what I do.
What made you choose real estate?
I find interesting and absorbing for real estate.
Real estate, what all have you done?
I wanted to work with my client. I need to just manage his property for him. I can take care of his property for him, work for a property for him.
What is the one turning point of the career of real estate?
One client who we were in touch with might be interested in buying something.
What all challenges you went through, Sudha?
One of the challenges I faced once was for a rental deal.
Understand or give us a hint about what is Dubai?
Right now, I think we are in the third place for real estate in the world.
Welcome to Realiti.Club podcast, where we dive deep into the journeys of successful regional realtors from join us as we uncover valuable insights and lessons learned from those who have navigated the path to greatness. Today, we have one such superhero, Miss Sudha Jayakumar, born in Karur, Tamil Nadu, but currently residing in Dubai, very much settled in Dubai. She is now an investment consultant in Allegiance Real Estate, and her career spans over 2 decades. We have a lot to learn and get inspired. Welcome, Sudha.
Thank you. Hi.
Fantastic. So, just for the audience sake, who you are, what you have done, because such an inspiration, at least whatever I have heard from you before this podcast, it's very inspirational because you are a mom of two. They are very well settled, but still, after 35, you started your career, right? And you have almost 2 decades after that now, and you're doing fantastic in Dubai. So, is that all, or how do you introduce yourself?
Well, let's say, well, this is real estate is part of what I am. It's part of
Yep.
what I do. Yes, I started working after the grand old age of 35 years old when I suddenly decided, okay, let me do something more with my life. Uh, because I wanted to be there for my children when they're young. I think it's very important as a mother. And I have the privilege to be able to be with them. I mean, unlike a lot of working women, I was able to be with them when they're young, and I'm very happy I did that. But after 35, and when they were grown up a bit, the restlessness, and you can do better, and there's so much you can offer to yourself, to everybody around you. And I decided, okay, let me start doing something. So of course, when people hear that you're 35, you've never worked in your life officially, they don't really want to, they don't take you seriously. Okay, I mean, and you don't have a Dubai experience. I've never worked in India as such. So I started off as a tele caller for one of the hotel chains where basically you had to make cold calls and, talk to somebody on the phone, sell them a dream, tell them the hotel package of what they will get if they take this hospitality card, and they basically have to pay you over the phone. I mean, they used to get credit card numbers on the phone. I mean, it was a tough beginning. I mean, I didn't realize it was going to be this tough. I just started
Th-
because I was passionate
This
about
was in
working.
2090s, right?
I like,
2000.
and no, it was, I don't, yeah, 2000 approximately. Yeah,
Okay.
2000, 2002.
My one simple, I mean, you were in Karur. You did your graduation in Karur, right? That was
No,
economics.
I was born. Sorry to interrupt, Arun.
Karur,
No,
right?
Okay, well, I was born in Karur, but my father moved to a place called Kovilpatti near Tirunelveli in
Okay.
south, and I was born and I mean I was brought up there. I did my studying, my schooling in Lady in Sacred Heart Convent, Yorkshire.
Okay.
I was there from 5 years to 17, 18 years. It was literally where I grew up, and so today whatever I am, I thank my the staff and the teachers and the sisters who took care of us for a good period of time.
So what
What
brought you
was
to?
to Dubai? Well, my husband actually shifted to Dubai. He had some business with one of his friends out here, so that's how the shift came. Otherwise, there was really no intention of coming to Dubai at all. I didn't.
Mhm.
I mean, Dubai was. I mean, we've heard of Dubai, but that's about it. But suddenly, I found myself there. So life suddenly decides that you need to be in a different place. So I'm here in Dubai, and
How much? I mean, were you always aspirational to move away from India, or was it incident and then you adapted?
no, I didn't have any intention of moving from India. For me, I thought I will be somewhere living next to my mom and dad for the rest of my life. I never in my dreams thought I would be working or I would move to a different country or I would be doing the things that I'm doing in my life today. It was completely incidences.
Fantastic. So you moved when to Dubai? You said to 90s.
95, 96. Yeah.
Okay, 95, 96. That's when
Yeah.
India is probably settling down after globalization, right?
Yes. And, Dubai was completely different then. It's not the Dubai you know today. I mean,
Mm-hmm,
I've
mm-hmm,
seen Dubai when, you know, it's a country of skyscrapers with lavish mansions. Of course, I mean, on Sheikh Zayed Road, which is the main key road of Dubai, you had a few skyscrapers. I mean, not even scrapers, I would say. They were just like a few buildings. And
mm,
there was this one building called World Trade Center, which is, I
okay.
think, maybe one tenth the size of Burj Khalifa. And that was
Oh,
considered the tallest tower in Dubai at that time.
yeah, I
And
remember. Yeah.
my dream was to go up there and look through the window and see the view of Dubai.
Was that lot of change, like? Appa,
Oh,
it has been on.
Dubai exploded. It changed. I mean, it was like seeing a new born baby growing at a super speed.
Fantastic. So then, okay, then your personal life took over. There were two kids. You attended to them in the
Yes,
early days. You've been the fantastic mother you are, right? So they're brilliant children. So now at about 35, 36, when they are on their own, now at your 35, 36 types, you are in your mid 30s. You're deciding to probably start something all new. uh,
yes,
According to me, that's real courage to start something at that age, for you to come out of that comfort zone. See, because for you to having moved to Dubai, uh, adapt to a new dynamics of environment, because that decade was different, right? I mean, India was different in 90s. Even we were not that much open in our mindsets, in our culture, right? In terms of economy, we were just budding, right? So we didn't have much of exposure like how we do today. So then you went there, you built your family, and then about mid 30s, it's a huge decision. Sudha, I mean, I'm really curious to know that phase or that decision as to what took you. I'm sure your husband, your family would be of great support, but still, I'm saying for you to get that inner self to push and take that first step, right?
well, actually, I come from a family which doesn't really encourage working or, a very, very traditional conservative family, a Nadar family from South India. I was not born in a city, born in a small town, raised in a small town, just went to a very good school, uh, like 6 hours from Kovilpatti. Uh, there was a lot of energy and spark in me as a young. I wanted to do so many things, but there's a lot of breaks for women, especially. I mean, I'm talking this story is of 30 years before. It's not
Yes, yes.
today.
Very
So
true.
women are in a different stage today. So there, I come from a very, very conservative family. We wear only very conservative clothes. We don't wear trousers or even shirts like this. Uh, you know, those days. I mean, it was either a sari, even a salwar was considered a very modern. I mean, that's the
True.
kind of society I came from.
True. True.
So I always wanted to do something with myself. To, I mean, I used to be an A student. I did dabbled a bit in sports as well.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to study. I wanted to do In fact, my teachers used to tell me to go in for IAS, but
Mhm.
my family is like, "Are you? What's wrong with you? You're 21. You're 20. I was just going to become 21, and you're talking of working. No,
Mhm.
we are getting you married. That's it." And
Mhm.
those days, you just took it. And if I knew I was married, I couldn't even do what I wanted to do. But all those aspirations were there, and definitely the
Mhm.
potential was there. It's just that it didn't, I guess, blossom at that time.
Fantastic.
And
So
it
then
took
you
Dubai to,
no you said you started as a telecaller, right?
yes,
What I mean, you just like that took up any job you I mean you just wanted to work and you took up a job, or you had some plan in it?
no, I just wanted to take any job because the drive to do something for myself was there. But at 35, no qualifications. I'm just a BA economics graduate. In fact, I didn't even collect my degree certificate because I got married before then. And my parents were like, "Why are you even attending the graduation ceremony? You're not even, why? You don't need all that kind of a thing." That was the attitude then. And but the drive was there, and I think the right moment it sparked up, and I said I'm going to find something for myself. Yes, I tried to find different jobs, but either people felt I was too qualified without any experience, or they said I didn't have UA experience. And so I said, okay, now listen, I just have to start somewhere. Where do I start? So looking at the classifieds, calling people, telling them, can I come over? Can I? It's okay. I'll take a lesser salary, but I just want to work. But people found it suspicious. Like, what's wrong with this lady? She's got two children. She says she has a husband who's working. So why is she coming and saying, let me work? Okay, it's near my house. I'll take a lesser salary. So then the only thing I realized was I picked up the phone and they said, okay, this is a minimum salary of 2,000 per month, and you can make commissions as high as the sky or something like that. So I said, okay, let
Mm.
me give it a shot because this was the only person who was actually accepting me. I mean, they did a small telephonic interview and they said, okay, come over. And I just went there and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was like going to be a big telesales center or I'm going to be part of 100 people. I mean, so for the interview itself, they called us and we were ushered into this huge hall of 500 people sitting. And there's one gentleman there, and he says, okay, everyone, you got 1 minute, stand up and speak. And
Mm.
so we stood up, introduce yourself. So we introduce ourselves. They said, I'm so and so, I've come here and whatever. And after that, they called out the names. They said, okay, come, come, come. So the 500, I think maybe 50 people or 30 people were chosen from that. And we were given the grand task of calling people. And I was so excited. I said, I got a television job. And yeah, and then you understand it was a
I
difficult
see
phase.
excitement even today now with you, right? While you were actually able to go back in time and think about it, I could see the same excitement in you. I think that's what is actually different between somebody. Who is trying to get into. I mean, a fresher today who gets into a job don't have that excitement, right? I mean, a simple thing called excitement or a passion, what we call, that's what is probably that I think that I could clearly see, Sudha. I mean, That's fantastic. But coming back to real estate, okay. So from you started as that telecaller, I could understand that you already started liking the sales in you, salesman in you, or saleswoman in you. Uh, that personality of yours is already you started identifying your first job. That's what I could see, right? Being a telecaller, talking to so many people, incentives, motivations, all those things have started to kick in the first thing itself. But post that, how real estate, what made you choose real estate? Because that's I mean, today real estate, all of us know, is still not got the respect it deserves, right? And or any of us, any individual who works with real estate, be it a developer or individual who works, do not have that respect. If today is like that, whenever you chose, it's not going to be better, right? It's going to be much lesser than what it is today, right? So considering that, and also from where you started, I can understand completely, like, passion and sales drove you towards the highest value of product. But somewhere, what made you choose real estate? Was anybody inspirational, something you saw? What was it?
Well, see, of course, I had a couple of other sales jobs in between. I tried even getting out of sales. I said, let me do an admin job and all of that. But for some reason, people see you, they say you talk, you can drive, you know how to communicate. So, you know, unknowingly or knowingly, they push me into sales again and again. So after I worked in the print media, I worked in an online recruitment portal for the oil and gas industry, but all sales, either dealing with B2B logistics. I brought up logistics directories. I brought up supplements for Khaleej Times, the leading newspaper in Dubai. I mean, it was all varied subjects, whether it was a cookbook or whether it was a book or a supplement on Ras Al Khaimah. These supplements come along with the newspaper. So so it was like a variety of people you meet from either from logistics, healthcare, or from shipping, or for anybody in the yellow pages were my targets. And then I guess I took a sabbatical uh, around 2009, 2000, no, 2012, which, and I said, okay, I had some things which I needed to take care of, so which I needed to take a break from full-time work. So though I had a very, very good job in a company called Oil Careers, it was one of the leading online recruitment portals for the oil and gas industry. And I had
Mhm.
with all the perks, I had a
Okay.
job. I let go of that. And then I just took a break for some time. And then I came back. I said, okay, now you can't keep quiet. You need to do something again. But where do you start? Because by then, my age has also gone up. We are talking 10 years down the line again now. Now, who's going to hire somebody at this age again? And they would have most probably, but I said, let me think of something a little flexible, which will allow me to travel, have a little more time for myself. And I was wondering, what to do. And there's not many part-time jobs in Dubai, unfortunately. I mean, those days. Now I think market has opened up. So I went to a party and met one uh, of somebody who was in a meditation class with me, and he had invited us over. And I met this British lady there, and her name was Karen, and she spoke to me. We got talking, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, nothing at this point. I'm looking." She said, "Why don't you look at real estate?" I said, "Okay." I said, "But what does it pay?" She said, "Listen, we work on commission. We don't pay." I'm like, "What? No pay?" Okay, this is not suitable for me at least. I need to see my paycheck at the end of every month. But she kept insisting, and she said, "Just come over, come to our office. We've just opened up an office. Come over and see. And we are all very nice people. I'll teach you the ropes. See for yourself, and then you take a call." So I sat around for a week, but I said, "Okay, how long to sit around? Somebody has offered something to me. Let me see what I can. Let me at least go and see. I'm not going to lose anything, anyways." So I went there. It was a small office of 8, 9 people. It was a nationality kind of crowd out there. There were British, there were Chinese, there were Arabic speaking people. I was the only Indian there other than the admin. And I decided, of course, the lady, for a couple of days, she said, okay, so this is what rental means. She said, let me tell you, start with the rental. I said, rental, okay. She said, you will learn everything. Start from, ground zero. And I said, okay. And then next week, she said, okay, team up with somebody in the team, go with him, see what he's doing, learn. And that's how I learned. I started with rental. It wasn't easy, I have to say. Even then, there's a lot of competition in Dubai, and now, of course, it's in a different level altogether. So we used to work on the rentals, but that's how I learned the ground rules of real estate. So, you learn about the RERA laws, what are the laws you need for a rental, what are the documents you need for a rental, and how do you get a property from a landlord? How do you do the viewings? What you should know before you take the client for a viewing? So I learned. I made mistakes. I goofed up, but with every mistake, I learned. Okay, I need to know this so that I don't look like a fool in front of the tenant or the client who asks me. So you learn. That's the most. I find that's so interesting and absorbing about real estate. Every person you meet is a teacher. They teach you, even though you think you're a pro, every deal is different. There are so many obstacles you meet in each deal, whether it's legal or whether there's a mortgage problem that you need to sort out. So that has been the journey of me starting real estate.
Fantastic. So what you started in rent in now in this whatever journey so far after coming to real estate, what all have you done? Have you done rent, primary, secondary? What all you have you done? Commercial, whatever it is.
See, what I did initially was, um, my clients. I wanted to work with my clients. For me, the clients were very important for me. So it didn't matter whether it was a rental or whether it was a sale, whether he wanted me to just manage his property for him, I can take care of his property for him, or look out for a property for him. For me, the client was king. So
Okay, okay.
I didn't hesitate to do a rental. The rental must be only 50,000, 60,000. But so what? It keeps me in connection with the landlord so that I have control of the property and he knows that I'm doing, my part of the job for him as well. So, and he comes to me for everything. I have people sometimes calling me. During COVID, I got stuck in India for
Okay,
almost 6 months. And
okay,
clients used to call me and say, Sudha, I used to work in plots at that time in a particular
okay,
area.
okay.
And so they used to know me and they used to call me and they say, listen, we have this offer for this plot. What do you think we should do? And you're one of the people I trust and like your opinion on this, please. So it's actually an honor, I feel. People reaching out to you, asking you for your opinion, whether they should sell or not. Yes, sometimes they don't sell through you.
Yeah,
Sometimes you're not there, you can't do it. You can't be there all the time for everyone. So, but still, you appreciate the fact that they're coming to you. So they trust you at some level. Even though they're doing the deal with another agent, even 2 days ago, one of my old clients called me and she said, Sudha, I've sent you a document. Kindly have a look. Just tell me whether these clauses are okay. And I was driving back and forth. I said, just give me time. Let me go back. At 11:30, I was able to look at her document. I went through the clause and I said, okay, this clause, this is what it means. The second clause, this is what it means. If you're okay with it, you can go ahead. If you're not okay with it, you might want to ask the other agent to rework the clause to what you want. So I'm happy that people reach out to me.
fantastic. How many clients base you have probably or attended to so far?
I don't know. That would run into I don't know, hundreds. I guess. I mean, it's a conservative figure. Because we are talking to people all the time. I mean, not
Yeah.
all meetings transpire into a successful deal either. But people, once they reach out and you send them a message, they sometimes come back to you after 6 months. Hey, do you remember I came to meet you near that plot in Fujian, and
Mm,
you told me to buy and I didn't buy, and today
mm,
look at the plot. I said,
mm,
yes, I wish I had been more pushy at that time. But
mm.
I felt like you should take an intelligent choice of your own. I can tell you the pros and cons, and I can tell you do this, but I cannot force you to sign the deal. I mean, so he said, okay, next time I wish I said, you would have made 4 times the money if you had bought at that time. I mean, that's Dubai real estate today.
What is the one client remember, or one deal you remember which you think is the turning point of the career of real estate, in your career of real estate? One deal, or which you cannot forget. It always pops up.
Well, there was one client who we were in touch with, and he had given me one of his properties to rent. And then he said, Sudha, I might be interested in buying something. So we were looking at different options, and he said, okay, I think let's just go to the developer's office and we'll see. So let's understand the project more. I said, okay. And we went there, and then I knew he wanted to buy, but he really liked the project. It was in Jumeirah Golf Estate, and it was one of those apartment buildings which was off plan. So he said, okay, I want this. And I knew he was going to take one. Then he pointed to the next 2 floors down. He said, okay, what is available? Okay, I'll take this one as well.
Mm,
So
mm,
I was like very surprised. I mean, I
mm,
didn't expect that. He just came this, and
mm,
two
mm,
properties at one go off plan.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
it was like it was one of those early days actually, but it was
Okay.
something unexpected for me, and I remember that because we have other incidents as well. There are people I tell them there's a plot like this, and we've been in touch for months, and then he says, okay, tell me when you have something, but I want it in this specification. I need to, the length should be this much, not the other way around. So I just happened to see something. I called him in the evening and I said this, but you need to move very fast because they're going to sign an MOU. So, and since you're a cash buyer, I'm holding the seller. So he drove. I didn't know, and I thought, okay, he's going to give me an answer the next morning. But he drove down from Abu Dhabi, and he's
Mm-hmm.
looking at the plot in the dark with the torchlight. He's sending me a
Mm-hmm.
video of him looking, and he's like, "Done. Go ahead. My offer."
Mm,
Yes.
mm,
I mean, that was like amazing. I'm like, I mean, this is the way it should be.
mm,
See, but not every deal is the same. He took a decision on the spot like this. He got exactly what he wanted, picked it up at a
mm.
very decent price, but he took that effort to come down, and we finished the deal in record time, in fact.
Fantastic. What all challenges you went through, Sudha? I mean, these are all brilliant stuffs. We spoke about positives. I'm sure there were. I mean, every journey has its own volatility, right? Something goes up, comes down, or something which is down teaches us, and that triggers us to go up, right? So, what were the points which you think, or probably you think, these are things which I mean, was a good big challenge which you faced, other hurdle.
Okay. Well, one of the challenges I faced once was for a rental deal. I mean, the gentleman came, it was a lovely house, saw it, and there was a tenant, but they said they were leaving. And that's what the landlord told me, that they said they were leaving and all of that. He saw the house. He just went in and out of the house in less than 2 minutes. And he said, okay, done. Take the check for it. I said, okay, done. He finished doing the contract, did everything. He paid us the money upfront, everything. And the money is in my bank as well. And
Mhm.
the tenant refused to move out.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was very embarrassing. Then we're talking to the landlord is talking to the tenant. They have a big issue, they have a big dispute going on there. He goes to the land department, but the land department very clearly states that you need to give a tenant 1 year notice if you want to sell the property, or if you want to move in yourself. 1 year court registered notice which has to be sent. So you cannot do that. And he just assumed, he went and did something in Arabic, and I think he didn't understand what he had sent. It was something else completely. And hey, we had to return the money back from my account back to the tenant.
Wow.
So we learn. I mean, so now we are very careful. We ask for all these documents, and it was a lesson.
So you dive into the pool and then figure out to swim, as you sometimes, right? I mean, that's how it was real estate. Also, there was no. I mean, I don't blame any of us, right? Because there is today we speak about RERA. There are systems which are coming in play. A lot of regulations in a way is going to help us in many ways. But I could completely understand. 10 years, 20 years back, it was completely unorganized, right? I mean, in spite of because there were documentation, there were processes, but for any of us, a lay person, to understand it, they have to go closer and execute it. That's when we get to learn. I mean, there were no age of internet where it was helping us as well. So I can completely understand, all of those. Brilliant. Okay, Sudha. So Dubai in this 10 years, we are all here in India, right? The audience here is predominantly going to be the millennials, right? Somebody who's going to look at real estate to join and things like that, right? Or anybody in real estate for the 5 years, 6 years are basically going to watch this episode and things like that. So one is that they've already inspired that at what level of caliber and courage you've gone through your decisions, and you've never let your age or your family or your position have come in play. So all those things are very, very inspiring, that is coming across. So now probably let's move beyond this and then understand or give us a hint about what is Dubai, right? Just explain that as a geography. If at all we are looking at Dubai as a, I mean, this is pure from a realtor to realtor perspective, right? As to what say if I explain India, it is predominantly to do with about 4 or 5 cities, right? Almost 60-70% of real estate transaction happens in almost Delhi, Bombay, Pune, at best Hyderabad, Bangalore, right? These 5-6 cities contribute almost 50-60% of real estate transaction. The rest of the transaction happens with another 5 cities, right? That's the maximum of real estate transactions per se, right? And typically, if you take a city, for example, in say Bangalore, depending on that corridor, the geography itself, there are certain corridors, right? Chennai, it has East Coast on one side and it drives. So this is how we see it as cities, right? In that perspective, how do you explain Dubai for us? Because we are alien, we do not know Dubai other than we have seen that in a map, in a Google map and things like that. So if we are that, give us some hint about Dubai.
Well, Dubai is right now, I think we are in the third place for real estate in the world, the top investment region in the world. And I'm sorry, I'm not getting the figures correctly, but I think the official stats are around 350 millionaires, billionaires who have moved into Dubai in the last 2 years. I mean,
Okay.
it's a emirate with seven. It's a country with seven emirates: Abu
Okay.
Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Al Quaiwan, and Ajman. So Ras Al Khaimah, yes. So
Okay.
these comprise of all the 7 Emirates, and of course,
So,
Dubai is the leading, in my opinion. And Ras Al Khaimah, yes, has started off also now selling a lot of properties because they have a lot of coastline and they have the Marjan Island. And you must have heard that a casino is opening up there as well near
okay.
Ras Al Khaimah. So they are also doing well. Sharjah has also jumped into this now. They have their own townhouses, communities which are opening up. And Abu Dhabi, yes, I mean, there are like master developers there who, develop most of Abu Dhabi who are doing very well there per se. But Dubai, yes, has got the attention of the world for various reasons. I think government is very progressive. So, and it has attracted a lot of, talent, and they're looking to, for people to settle here. So they have looked at from, oil, it became tourism, and then real estate. So this is where we have transitioned into, and
Mhm.
it's a growing community, and it's a growing country as far as real estate is concerned. We have, as far as I know, people from US, UK all have opened up offices here because
Mhm.
everyone wants a piece of the success cake, and that's what
Mm.
today is. Why it's today, and
Okay.
so now I think from selling luxury projects, we have the Russians, we have the Chinese, because Indians have always been among the top three investors in Dubai,
Mhm.
whether
Mhm.
they're from India or whether they're from US or whether they're from UK or any other part of the world. Indians are one of our top investors here and who
Oh.
understand and sir, around I think demographically also Indians are one of the highest uh, races out here who live here in Dubai.
Okay. Okay.
So people understand, they feel very comfortable with Dubai. I mean, it's conservative, yes, and at the same time modern. There's a lot of
Mhm.
opportunities for people out here, and
Mhm.
I guess it's like another America, I guess.
Mhm.
Land of opportunities, which has
Yeah.
opened
Yeah.
up big time. So a
Mhm.
lot of people are investing here, whether
You
they're opening up companies.
could we just dissect that into, say, you said there were so many businesses are setting up place, I mean, seeing Dubai as a place, right? And you also spoke about how from oil to tourism to now it's becoming more a real estate, right? You also made one more statement saying that Dubai is a place to settle, right? So that's how you started, and then you said this is the transition. And so if I could connect and understand these, then it's a community which is getting built where a sense of ease and sense of ease for doing business or ease of living is definitely the pointer which I could probably sense. So in that perspective, how it is easy to live and how it is easy for a business. If you could just answer these two, probably we'll probably understand as to why that the so-called 300 plus billionaires move there. That should have some reasoning, right? I mean, people cannot see that as just mere simple real estate piece, right? So real estate is all about the index of living also, right? So somewhere, how is that the government? I mean, what is the opportunity for any of us from away from Dubai to see Dubai as a place to live or settle and see that as a community? Why that is growing every day, and how is that happening? I mean, just curious to know that. Yeah.
See, the Dubai government has opened up and they want people to live here. And before it was a lot of, I mean, it was a very transitionary kind of a country. People come in a few years, they are out, whether it's their CEOs or whether they are blue collar workers, they just here for a few years and they go. But now
Mm-hmm.
Dubai has made uh, it's very easy for people to live here. First and foremost, it's a pretty safe country. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
live here, so I can guarantee you that. Of course, within all common sense, it's a it's a very safe country to be here. Very clear cut rules and laws, and whether you're renting a house or whether you're starting a business, there are government bodies which will help you through the entire process. And yes, uh, I think one of the key reasons which brought attention to Dubai was the way they handled COVID. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
it. I mean, you have, I think, 1 billion visitors any given time. I think now in Dubai all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
many of them got stuck in Dubai. I couldn't leave Dubai when I wanted to, and I couldn't come back into Dubai because of the COVID phase. Right?
Sure.
And what the government did, which I saw, was, they set up hospitals, they set up even temporary shelters, very decently built in infrastructure to house people who were sick. They were given medicine. They were not penalized because
Okay.
their visa ran out or they didn't have insurance or anything. So it showed a
Oh,
very,
okay.
very mature approach to the problem, which they did a decent job of. And this has caught the attention, the
Mm-hmm.
way they handled COVID. And the people who
Mm-hmm.
came and went, all were, the way the penalties were waived off, the visas were extended. So I think there's a lot of goodwill they generated, which was part and parcel of this land, I think. So that is one of the reasons people got attracted to. So they came, stay here, they see the place. Okay, why not? Why can't I live here? The roads are good, the transport, logistics is decent. There's good living amenities. There's good schools. There's lots of places where you can rent offices. You can set up your offices. You can even have manufacturing units, whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
free zone or the mainland. So all this is, they saw different opportunities, whether it's AI startups or whether it is having events for content creators.
Mm-hmm.
We have it all here. I mean, Dubai has hosted one of a very big events for digital marketeers and content creators in
Mm-hmm.
Dubai. So there is something for everybody here. And
Yeah.
as a family, uh,
That's,
yeah, right, go ahead, Arun.
I said most importantly, it's tax free, right? I mean, people tend to
Well,
think of.
well, there is corporate tax. There is corporate tax, and
Mhm.
but other than that, there's not, and it's at a minimal level compared to other countries as well. And even see, when you look at UK, the properties are taxed. There's a tax on the gains and all that. All that is not taxed here. So
Mhm. Mhm.
you understand why the millionaires and
Yeah,
investors
yeah,
are all zooming to Dubai.
very much, very much, very much. Fantastic.
Ease
So
of business.
we also spoke about, like, before this call, podcast, we did have a conversation, right, where I was asking about how the line project of Abu Dhabi, right, there is a city which they are trying to build for 23-24 kilometers, which is just similar to a line in Abu Dhabi. That's something which is coming
Not
up,
in Abu
right?
Dhabi. That is in Saudi. Saudi.
Sorry, correct. Saudi Arabia, yeah. So they are trying to compete now with Abu Dhabi. I mean, like Dubai, they are also trying to open up and trying to build, and that city really is a talk of, right? At least it made a virality in the digital world, right? So could you just explain if you have any idea about it?
Well, I see. What I know is it's a city within, I mean, you must have seen the pictures of within a certain kilometer. Everything is contained within that. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, but see, let me put it very in a different way.
Yeah.
I have clients who live here, who work or who have opportunities, work opportunities in Saudi, but
Hmm.
they still prefer Dubai
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
various reasons. And
Hmm.
I'll say Saudi is trying to catch up, I guess. They must be
Hmm.
seeing that the success story Dubai is, and they must be thinking, if they can do it, why not us? I mean, what can I say except good luck? And
Fantastic. So, what's the costliest per square feet rate in Dubai? Just out of curiosity.
well, we have mansions which are going for 6,000, 7,000. That's not the costliest, one of the costliest. In fact, I think 2 days ago, a villa was sold for 175 million in a small in called Jumeirah Island, and that's
Mhm.
not even that. I mean, it's got a lot of very posh villas, but I mean, there have been villas sold for 250 million, etc., on the Palm, one of
Okay.
the highest. So there are some very, very expensive projects out here in Dubai, and there's islands. There's an island which has only 20 villas there
Oh,
in that
nice.
island. And
Oh.
there are multiple people doing things like this.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
and they come for the lifestyle. Your boat is just tethered to the jetty outside your house, and it's like
Mm.
you can see the mainland marina 10 minutes from here. So,
Wow. So,
so like
what's the typical appreciation there? So the value is like as high as 170 million. There are, I mean, an average probably it would be about 10 million, if I'm not wrong, 10, 20 million.
yeah, obviously when they bought it, like the Arabian ranches, I think when they first launched, I think maybe like 15, 20 years ago, it must have sold for 1.2 some of these townhouses. Today,
Mm.
the same thing is like going for 8 million, 7 million. So there's a huge capital appreciation, huge. And if you're a smart investor, you pick up
Mm-hmm.
properties at the right time with the right
Mm-hmm.
project. And
Mm-hmm.
people have seen huge, huge capital appreciation. See, I mean, that depends on when you're investing and where you're investing. So
Yeah,
you got to be
true.
smart, you got to be quick, and you got to be quicker than the rest.
That's where we need more Sudhas there to help us. What is the entry point for anybody who is coming in and trying to buy a simple small piece of real estate? What can be the minimum which they need to think of?
Yeah, I think 500,000, I think. See, on the primary market from the developer, yes, 500, 550 might be the starting point. On the
Mhm.
secondary market, you might find it even a little bit cheaper. But of course, the
All of these are in dirhams we're talking about,
yes, we're
or
talking
dollars?
only in dirhams. No, no,
Dirhams, okay.
dirhams. I'm talking of dirhams. So
Okay. So dirham is
550,
how much of Indian rupees?
I think around 2 crores, maybe approximately 2 crores.
Okay. So 2 crore could be a
Approximately.
good tax budget for somebody to come in.
Yes, for sure. For sure, yes.
And anything which is capital gained on that is tax free.
Yes, definitely. There is only VAT also only in commercial property when you buy commercial,
Okay.
not on
Okay.
residential. So there's
Not on
no
this.
tax, not on this now.
No, you're saying residential do not have tax.
Yes, when you buy a residential property, there's no tax, but when you buy a commercial property like an office, there will be a VAT attached to it. Even for
Oh.
rentals, when there's a commercial property, there's a VAT attached to it. But yes, when I'm renting a residential unit, my services has a VAT attached to it,
Oh,
which the
okay.
tenant.
Understood. 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 So VAT is more for the audience sake. VAT is more in similar to our GST in India, right? Value added
Yes,
tax is of whatever a value is added at each stage that is getting taxed, right?
yes.
So I understood. So approximately 2 crore. What sort of appreciation? I mean, so anybody to put in money in Dubai, they need to have at least a crore, 2 crores. And an Indian can any Indian buy a property in Dubai?
Yes, you can, as long as you're able to transfer the funds and you are able to show your KYC, and why not?
What all KYC like? See, because this I'm asking purely from people in down south India and all those, like people who have not seen anything much beyond India, right? They are sitting with a lot of money and capital, which they probably would like to invest, double, and things like that, right? So if how lucrative is Dubai for them in terms of real estate? For them to put money for a 5 year, 10 year period and exit? Is it possible? And what sort of KYC or what sort of norms an Indian would require? Uh, this is one. And second is like if there are many NRIs, right, who have properties in India, basically they have quit India and probably have got a citizenship in the West, right? And now they basically want to sell the properties in India and then move and reinvest in somewhere where they could probably slowly, steadily settle down. So those are things which are typically the questions which we get to hear, at least in this place. So if you could just answer those, it will be great.
Okay. See, in the last few years, I've seen people who have sold properties in India and invested here. And I was surprised. I said, why would you uproot that? But there is a reason. I mean, all of them are not fools. They have seen
Correct.
the returns on any investment. Say even an apartment. Right now, the rentals are on all-time high in Dubai. So you're making anything from 7 to 8% to 15, 20%. Yes, on
Rent.
depending on whether you're doing rent, whether you're doing long-term rentals or whether you're doing short-term rentals. Obviously, the long-term rentals, let's say a minimum of 7%. I'm giving you a very conservative figure,
My God.
7%. It was
Okay.
be a little lower before, but it's gone up now because the rental returns are very good in Dubai right now. And that's one of the
That
reasons people are
almost 300 times of what they could get in India.
exactly. This is precisely what one gentleman had come from. I think he came to showcase, I think, an AI technology, and he came and he wanted me to help him out. And when I was giving him these figures, he was so zapped. He said, "I wish I knew about this earlier. I would have, we'll bring people here." I said, "Yes, in India, what are the returns you get? 2, 3%,
The
and
3% is
then
the
you give
ultimate.
all the 3% is very high. So it's
Very.
I'm not saying uproot your property and come here, but this is what the reality is here today. It's a 7% minimum, I would say, on a good
Wow.
property. You
Wow.
furnish it, you upgrade the property, and if you go for short-term rentals, nothing less than 15%.
Wow.
Because the influx of tourists into the country is so high, and it's at a steady level. So if you take a property in Business Bay or in Marina or in downtown, this is where the tourists want to be. And
So to put in 2 crores there, a property, say, let's assume I would like to buy in Dubai. I've never traveled to Dubai. I've never seen Dubai once, right? So I'm saying that I would like to put in a 2 crore rupees entry level, right? What is the KYC I need to think of immediately, and how fast can I do it? Should I even have an account in Dubai? These are like popping questions in my head.
no, I don't think you need to have a account in Dubai. Of course, what we normally do is I normally put somebody I work with, a mortgage advisor, somebody who
Okay.
can open up an account for them, or tell them legally how they can transfer the
Yeah.
money or and see how it works for them. Maybe some of them don't want to have an account here, or some
Mm-hmm.
of them just want to have it there. Then they need to have a power of attorney holder here who can,
Okay.
take the checks or deposit it into the account or send it across to them or whatever. So all that, as a real estate agent, we also do it, but it needs to be authorized properly. You need to be attested documents in place, and whether you do a rental or whether you do a sale, it's all possible. In fact, during COVID time, people were stuck outside the country. The DLD, the land department, had the Zoom meetings, and they used to conduct the sales via Zoom meetings.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
the country is improvising, is progressing, is making sure that things are easing up as much as possible. So I think all this caters to people who see people come here because they find life easier in many ways. Obviously, you need to have a certain level of income to have a easy life. But once you
Mhm.
come in as an investor and you're doing well, Dubai is heaven.
Wow. Dubai is heaven. That we actually crop and probably put it as a thumbnail. So fantastic. So let's come to the last segment right now. We've spoken about how you started, why real estate. From there, now you are completely given us picture as to what Dubai is, how brilliant it is as a real estate piece in the entire planet. So now, what's your advice to young Sudha who started whenever she started as her career, right, in mid 30s? If you want to give her that some learning, what if at all you have had there, probably would have done much better today. What that learning would be? What is it that you would like to pass on to your, uh, the youngest Sudha?
Well, I wish I'd been more focused on
Okay.
one area or one
Mm.
community.
Mhm.
What I did earlier was I just took whatever work came to me.
Mm.
I mean, I just took whatever that came to me because I was so eager. Okay, he wants something in the other corner of the world. Yes, I'll go and try and find it for him. Or he wants something in this part of the world. Yes, you try and find it for him. You don't have the expertise. You don't have. I mean, it's not really possible to be an expert in all communities in Dubai. It's growing way too fast. There are way too communities with it's all different segments. There's ultra luxury, luxury. There's affordable. There's very reasonably priced properties, whether it's a townhouse, whether it's a apartment, whether it's a skyscraper, or whether it's a, a mansion. So Dubai has it all. So I mean, if I had chosen to stay or stick to one community or specialize in that, I think that's where you should start off with. You should maybe take one building, but you should know the building upside down. Which apartment, which series of apartments will face Burj Khalifa, which will have the back view, which will face the pool. So when somebody says, okay, I have 2009, that series is facing Khalifa.
Mm.
Or, where is the gym? Which floor is the gym? What are the parking? What are the service charges? I mean, these are all basic stuff. But to have in-depth knowledge, you should know the building upside down. And for that, you should, sit there, learn you know, instead of going helter-skelter, trying to grasp every straw you see. So that's what I would say. I mean, I could have started off being a little bit more focused. And yes, you
So that's
see, there are certain
now.
things you need to do. Yeah, that's the
Fantastic.
advice.
So post COVID, even the governments have moved digital, right? And even prior the digital transformation, social era, right? Social networking era, real estate was the only industry, in my view, had something called as personal branding, right? Which means the brokers were trying to talk about their profile and things like that. That is one. And two, networking, right? uh, Real estate players were always behind the networks they built, right? They always speak about the network is the net worth and things like that.
Yeah.
So that is what is actually have become the norm of today's world in social era, right? In the digital world, which means you be personally branded in your LinkedIn to Insta to wherever not, and also build a caliber. Extend that personal branding to a wide, brilliant network so that people recognize you for that in that network, right? So this is becoming the digital transformation. So with this, are you seeing this impact in today's world? How are you thinking? What is your thought process in terms of this digital transformation? Because the future, or probably the present, is already there. Future is definitely going to be digitally transformed, right? How do you see that typically? I mean, where do you see? Because we as realtors have done personal branding by printing our pictures in the visiting cards, right? And having been to the offline events, trying to exchange the visiting cards. Today it's been okay, we share our exchange our profiles, LinkedIn profiles, and then probably network virtually, right? But still the events are true, the personal branding is true. So how is this what do you expect it to be, right? I'm more trying to ask like that, in your view, in your experience, where do you think this is heading towards? Because in around you there are much more younger people joining in real estate. How are they seeing or doing things today, and what is the future?
Well, you're right. This is a digital era we live in. But end of the day, I think the human interaction is extremely important. That's what I mean. Before you sell a property, you literally have to sell yourself, and then the person is willing to buy anything you offer. And sometimes, yes, the digital era, I see everyone doing this. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't do it much myself, to be very honest. Um, a little bit old fashioned. I need to step up a bit on that, I guess. But you see everyone doing it. But I mean, is it getting you the clientele that you need? You might get people looking at it, but you should know how to do those reels. There's a certain way of, you can't just put any random picture and or random video and expect people to look at it. There has to be a human face. There has to be an interaction. So you need to know what you're selling, and of course, not everyone who you know responds to you on that is a buyer, and maybe the high network ones might not really look at your your Facebook or your Insta and then come to you, because there are millions of brilliant people doing extraordinary reels for this.
Okay.
So yes, it has to be a part of your branding, strategy. But I would say networking is nothing can beat networking, in my opinion.
Okay.
Networking with whether it's HNIs, because you go to any place, any party, you don't need to talk about real estate at all. The topic automatically turns to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this game is. I mean, it's a very basic thing we're talking here. So you talk and people are immediately after some time it automatically goes towards real estate, and then you just have to wait for them to reach out to you. I don't even sometimes do hard selling, because it's really not required.
Yeah.
They know you're in real estate, and they have the money. They know what you're capable of. They'll come to you.
Fantastic.
But yes, networking is extremely important.
Superb. So I think we have come to the closing now. I genuinely understood you very well during the session. I would like to thank you for spending such time to give me, some insights of I've at least taken aback, at least after this interview, that age is no limit, right? And never say that or probably give reasons as to real estate, cold calling. This is no job is beneath you to start. So these are something which I've genuinely taken aback, and I've learned a lot about Dubai per se. You have sold Dubai to me, definitely, and to all our audience, I'm sure Dubai is going to be in the list of at least in the future investments they are definitely going to consider, right? So these are things which I've gotten. Any closing comments from your side? Happy to hear.
Well, see, I mean, Dubai is a glamorous place for sure, but to be a good realtor and a successful one, a lot of hard work is involved. Yes, and I didn't let age stop me. It's genuinely just a number. It's what you think out here that actually matters.
Fantastic.
And you decide what you want in your life, and be prepared to work for it.
Okay. Sure. Thanks, Sudha. Thanks for this time. We are going to have many more sessions on Dubai and more understanding on UAE from you. Hope to hear you, and maybe I might call you many more times or nudge you many more times to come on this channel to give us some insights. Thanks for this time.
It would be. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.